film yesterday. Did you have to call some guys out for effort or lack thereof?
It wasn't so much effort. Effort's never really been an issue. We're apprehensive at times, and focus wasn't where it needed to be. But I think offensively, we didn't run any semblance of our zone O. Our bigs didn't screen and seal deep like we're supposed to. There was times that a little bit of the pressure on the ball took our eyes off of the bigs. But really, it was the fact that we didn't come out the aggressor like we have in all of our games, but all of our road games in league too. So the good thing was in the second half, we picked up, I think, a little bit of the intensity and the purpose more than the effort, and that's where we showed that what we're capable of doing defensively.
Given Stanford's size and the foul trouble that Drew's dealt with in the past, is there anything that he can draw from that, or he has to kind
Stay
of
out
pay
of foul
special?
trouble.
Yeah, he has to pay special attention to, given how the way that Travis went at 8 and
Yeah, what we're going to talk about is doing your work early, which we say all the time. And if he can keep the ball out of those guys' hands, then it kind of takes the onus off the officials making calls or not, right? So that's what we're going to work with. Let's really do a good job of three-quartering and keeping the ball out of there, like teams have done to us in the past. Now they're going to keep working and ducking and sealing, but we've got to be really resilient there. And then if they do catch it, you just got to be smart. We get a lot of reaching fouls from our bigs, and we just need to go body up. And we work on it all year long. We tell them, you make them go over you or through you to score. And sometimes we leave our feet on pump fakes. That's allowing, like the other day, White got a bunch of layups just by pump faking and laying it in. So work early to keep it out of there, and then we need to give them some help with maybe some perimeter digs. The big thing is just go play and don't overanalyze. I think sometimes when our bigs do that, that's where we get frustrated offensively and then defensively get in foul trouble.
Both Trace and Seth both mentioned that they weren't ready to kind of match Oregon's intensity right from the start of the game. Why do you think that was for us?
It's the first time we've seen that, so I don't know. It's a good question. We played in a much tougher environment at McHale, and we were. Even at Arizona State, there was 13,000. We were ready to go. So I can't answer that for them. I know, we didn't talk about, there's no pressure on us. We already beat them. It was, let's go get the sweep. Let's fire up and get after it. And for whatever reason, the mindsets weren't where they needed to be to start the game.
You come away from some of these tight losses feeling like you're right there to turn those around, or is there still a bigger hurdle there?
We made a little graphic that we hung in the locker room today about our defense on the road in our league games. And it's funny, the teams, the one team that was the home game was UCLA, I'm sorry. But we talked about they're the 4 leading teams in the league in scoring offense, and what we held them to below their points per game and the field goal percentages. To show our guys, defense, we do a great job on the road defending, but we're not shooting the ball well. Guys aren't doing a good enough job getting themselves in position to get shots, get the ball. So it's a combination, but we're right there, but we don't want to say that all the way through March. We want to make sure we flip that around, and we're close. The guys right now, we've got to be confident, but we also need to be tough enough to learn and improve in the areas that we haven't. We're kind of repeating the same things a little bit over and over.
It seems like it's kind of tested that resiliency that you've talked about before.
Resiliency and maturity. That's some of the things that we're still trying to build. And I know we can get there. We've played really well on the road. I know people talk about the rivalry hangover. I never knew what that term meant. We're not talking about that. We've moved on. We're going to really dial in with Stanford today, and then hit the road tomorrow with hopefully on a mission to get that first road win this year and get some momentum going.
How do you feel like you get the offense moving a little better on the road? What's the key there?
We've got to be more aggressive. The second half the other night, we spread the floor and we attacked. We weren't attacking. The guards weren't attacking in the first half. And they don't play a zone. It's a switching man-to-man. And so I think we got back on our heels. We got to come out and be the aggressor, and then our shooters need to make shots. It's really that simple.
Going into Stanford, what do you want to see the most improvement on?
I think just our aggression on the road. We're defending on the road, so We can't drop off from that, but we've got to stay aggressive, and then again, our shooters, we've got to be confident, and we've got to knock down shots on the road. That'll, I think, really help us get over the hurdle.
You mentioned Drew or some other bigs potentially being out of position on defense sometimes. Wes also, I know, a priority to protect the rim. How are you balancing that right now as far as shot blocking?
Defense?
Defensively, yes.
I always think we weren't in the positions more offensively, but defensively, Drew's been really, really good protecting the rim. A few times the other night, he left his feet, which we can't do, which allowed them to lay it in. But man, he's come a long way in really learning that rule of getting vertical if you're inside the restricted area and challenging shots. Now there's times when he goes after shots he doesn't have to, and we showed that in film yesterday. I think Troy Bell, is it Troy Bell? Drove and went up over with his left hand off of over Trace. And Troy Brown, sorry. And Troy Bell's a guy I used to play against. And went up with the left hand. Trace was going to contest, and Drew came over, when he wasn't going to affect it and could have given up an offensive rebound. I think Ethan ran down and grabbed the defensive board. But so there's some things we got to learn there. When's the right time to go after a shot, and when's the right time to maybe bluff and then box out to get the rebound. So things that we're still working on through film sessions and that sort of thing.
As a team, you have a much better rebounding margin than the past 2 years. Drew's numbers rebounding-wise are a little bit down. Is that just having guys like Trace and Seth to kind of support him? Is he doing anything to help him?
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that, and I know he does a really good job trying to block shots and change shots, and then get out and run the floor. But he did a nice job the other night. He had 9 defensive rebounds. We need him going, nights where he's going both. So he's got to get offensive boards for us, and he's got to get, more defensive boards. So it's something that, again, we talk about, we continue to work on. But then also we do have some guards that rebound the ball pretty well too. So this is our best rebounding team since we've been here. And some have said in a lot of years at Oregon State. So we just got to keep working to improve in those areas. And I think the better we shoot it, those numbers will even improve because the other team will be getting less defensive rebounds. And then we just got to keep up the focus. This is going to be a big key this week, especially with Stanford, their size. We've got to rebound the ball.
Coach, on the shooting, you said the shooters need to be ready, footwork-wise, being prepared to take shots.
I think it's shot preparation before they have the ball, which we work on a lot in practice. When we get stagnant, we stand around and watch the guy that has the ball. So we don't cut as hard, but then we don't get shot ready. And if you're a shooter, you've got to be down, ready, and not surprised to find yourself open. And then, it's just a cheat step and let it fly. And we cut those corners, and so now we've got to catch. Now we've got to square. Now we've got to get our legs under us. By then, you've got a hand in your face, or you have to shot fake because you don't feel like you're open. So those are things that we work on in post perimeter. We show the guys in video, and for whatever reason, it's at times we get in a little bit of a funk where we feel the heat a little maybe, and we just need to free our minds up. And if you're a shooter, you're right next to us, you hear us. We subbed guys out the other night because they weren't taking open shots. I mean, shoot, I'd love to, been in that situation, even though I wasn't a shooter. So our guys, I think, just need to clear the mechanism a little bit and let it fly.